Okay, this is the demonstration of the final version of the DIY cool seat. As you see, we've got our classic Gatorade style cooler, a $25 Harbor Freight submersible pump. This replaces the much larger, much greater amp draw and loud as hell external, allegedly self-priming pump, which, well, wasn't self-priming. As you can see, this one sits in there and is not going to have any overheating issues. The other pump, after about an hour of driving around with the windows up and 90-something degree weather, started to get alarmingly hot. It didn't cut out, but it did get pretty hot. Let's see, it's standard 1/4 inch ID rigid tubing inside, like this. It's running the insulation on the outside here, and then some leftover braided slip covers there, and then the epoxy connections there. Here, this is the standard garage floor material. As you can see over here on the floor, I just cut it up so that the plastic tubing is sandwiched on either side with it, but top and bottom you still get good contact. So as you see, it's just stuck. So I cut holes in there. The top goes straight into the bottom. This foam piece doesn't seem to cause any discomfort whatsoever, and it's 12 inches in diameter by like 16 back to front, or no, 12 back to front, 16 back to front, and I think like 22 back to front on the back pad, but I left some area to trim at least a little bit off. Now there's a quick disconnect buried in here just because Home Depot only had these in 25-foot runs and I needed like 40 feet. As you can see, it pumps a pretty good volume. It turns over all the fluid in the line pretty quickly, and it just screws on like so. Of course, you'll have ice water in here when you're actually running it, and I ran it today on the way to work and was freezing my ass off early in the morning. You see, it's pretty quiet when it's all closed up. The loudest thing you can hear is just a little bit of dripping water. It's hooked up to a toggle switch with enough left to get Velcroed to the dash for instant on-off comfort there. The line back is braided until it gets to where I ran out of braid. And right now it's plugged into the dash, but the final version that goes in the car will just have a set of spade connectors or something at the end. And that's basically it. You just sit on it, and while it's not as effective, I wouldn't think, as a cool shirt, just because of, the reduced contact with the body, it's cheap, and you don't have to have one for each driver. With this all tied up into position, you should just be able to jump in, race, go on to the next person. Just to make sure the duct tape didn't fall apart under the heat, I actually hit it with a heat gun for a few minutes until it was really hard, really hot to the touch. In fact, that's how this one looks like. It's a little more, looks almost vacuum sealed compared to this one. So that's the only effect intense heat had on it. Grand total build cost was, not including the $40 pump fiasco and a bunch of fittings I screwed up along the way, $23 for the ice chest, $24.99 for the pump. There's the model. Yes, it's a crappy Harbor Freight model, so who knows how long it will last. If I was going to upgrade something, that would probably be it. About $10 worth of the 1/4 inch OD plastic tubing. The wire wrap I had laying around, it's probably $5-10. The foam insulation pieces were about $5, and I may retrim these and run some sort of more effective insulation all the way to the quick disconnects. The quick disconnects don't seem to leak. I sat on this one for the last 2 days on the way to work with it running without any problems, and that's about it. in all of its white trash, redneck engineering glory there. And that's